So today was the beginning of our 10-match journey to win the title, potentially win the title. So game 1 of 10, and we have managed to get a 4-1 win against Leeds. That's a very good result, although I've got to say the first kind of 20, 30, maybe even 40 minutes, it just felt very, I don't know, I guess you could say rusty. I mean, international breaks kill teams. They really do, especially if most of the players play on international duty, if they come back with little injuries and jet lag and lack of training. But do you know what? It's fine. We settled into the game, and you can see this is a great new feature on the FOTMob website. They have like a momentum graph here. And I feel like this doesn't really tell the truth all the time, because this is the period I'm talking about where we weren't really that great, but Leeds didn't do anything either. They had some pretty good chances that Ramsdale saved every time. Ramsdale was incredible today. But it was just a case of Leeds having basically 11 players behind the ball the entire time. I mean, it felt like, honestly, a lot of this game until we got that first and second goal, it was just about breaking down lines of 5 players, 5 midfielders, 5 defenders. And it was so difficult. But as it always is with these games, when you get that first goal, when you get that second goal, they then have to come forward, and that leaves the gaps. And that's where we were able to get a few more. And really disappointed to concede the goal we did. Christensen with a bit of a deflected shot off Zinchenko. It is what it is. But I thought Ramsdale really deserved the clean sheet today. But Jesus is back with 2 goals, which is great. Ben White is now scoring regularly for Arsenal. He's the best right back in the league. Don't even try and debate it. And of course, Granit Xhaka with his 5th in the Premier League this season. I mean, he was the kind of player that would get maybe 3 or 4 goals in 50 appearances. But he's playing in a much more advanced role this season, as we know. And he's popping up with some really important goals. But I guess most of the talk today is going to be about Jesus being back in the team. Jesus is back a week earlier than scheduled. 9.1 rating, 2 goals, one of them being a penalty. And I'm so glad that Ødegaard gave him the penalty. I think he needed that. I was saying to some friends, I feel like Jesus, when he joined Arsenal, the hype was insane. And we could all see pre-season, the first few games, what a player he's going to be for us. And I felt like he went a bit cold. It wasn't a lack of effort. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was necessarily anything but maybe a bit of bad luck. But he wasn't scoring much. He was getting involved with assists. I think when he got injured, he had 5 goals, 5 assists, which is still a very good return. And I always thought that when he came back from injury that maybe he would just need a few goals to really get him going again. And that's exactly what we've seen today. And there's a comment coming on Twitter later. It's funny. I'll leave it till then. Should we talk about Leeds? Because, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Everyone played well for Arsenal today. In that second half, we just took it to another level. Special shout out to Ramsdale, though. Some big saves. But what do we think about Leeds? How are they going to get on? Let's have a look at the table really quick. Leeds, after this result, are in 16th. They've got Nottingham Forest next. Oof. That is an absolutely huge game. If I'm being honest, I don't want Leeds to go down. I quite like Leeds. So I want to say I think they're going to be fine. And I think they will be fine. But, you know, when you see how leaky they can be, it is a worry, isn't it? And it's so tight at the bottom. It could genuinely come down to like the last game or two where we're going to have 4 or 5 clubs that could all go down just because of 1 goal swings, which is a scary thought. So, all the best to you, Leeds fans. Obviously, I wanted Arsenal to destroy you today, but I think they'll be just about okay. They are missing a couple of players that I think would really help them. They've got injuries, but yeah. Trossard with another assist. Gabby's assist was fantastic. I really liked Xhaka's header on the cross or the ball over the top from Ødegaard. I thought Holding had another relatively good performance. Saliba should be back for the next game. Or the one after. Hopefully he's fit to play Liverpool, because that's going to be a huge game for us. Let's have a look at the stats as well. So we've dominated the ball. We've had 2/3 of possession. Our expected goals is obviously very high. The 7 shots that Leeds had, honestly, 2 or 3 of those, it's just a really good save from Ramsdale. I genuinely mean it when Ramsdale was one of our best players today. And I'm surprised some of them haven't been listed as big chances. One or two of them, I would consider them pretty big chances. But at the end of the day, it's the quality in front of goal that's got us the win today. I mean, we were clinical. We really were. How many shots were actually on target? 6, and we've scored 4 goals. Do you know, that's quite rare for us. I feel like that's one of our downfalls over the last, decade, really, that we've never had a problem creating chances, bar a few rough patches. I remember when, I think it was Aubameyang scored the penalty at Old Trafford to win against Manchester United. And I remember in that period for about a month or two, we just could not seem to score goals. I think that was our goal of the month, a penalty. Says it all, really. And other than those kind of rough periods, we've always been good in front of goal. We just haven't maybe been clinical enough. So it's good to see that with 6 shots on target, we've been able to score 4 of them. So we looked at the table a little bit. What does it look like for us? We're the only team with all green at the moment. City have won 7 in a row in all competitions, which is definitely something to worry about, especially when they're scoring 10 goals a week or more. Even without Haaland today, smashing Liverpool. I thought Liverpool were embarrassing defensively. We needed them to do us a job, and they remain in 8th place, 2 losses in a row, and they've got Chelsea followed by Arsenal, so it's not looking great for Liverpool at the moment, is it? Obviously, it's in our hands. That's the thing. If you really put it simply, put it bluntly, we've now got 9 games. Just win them all. It's that easy, right? Like I know it's so... I mean, it's so cliche, isn't it? It's in our destiny. Just win the games. But that is the reality, and that is what Arteta's going to be saying to the team now after the game. Like, it's just 9 games to go. Ignore what City doing. Yeah, they beat Liverpool today, but we've got a chance to beat Liverpool in a couple of days now. Everything's going so quick, and then we've got City in 3.5 weeks. Like, just win these games, and we will lift the trophy. And I'm so stressed about it. I've got so much anxiety about it. I don't know how Arteta's dealing with it. It's such an underrated thing. People don't think about this. What managers have to go through, even at these levels, where you're potentially winning a league. It's not just potential sackings that are on their mind and just winning games and derbies and whatever, and injury players and injured players and signings and stuff. But think about Arteta in this position where you've got a club that haven't won a title in 19 years, and with this close. Do you know how much of a drain that must be mentally? Just the anxiety of it. I couldn't be a manager. I'd really struggle with that. These are our fixtures: Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton. I actually thought we had a game in between here. That I'm getting confused. Okay, so we've got Liverpool on Sunday. West Ham away could be a tough one. They're fighting relegation, but it's West Ham. It's a derby. By the way, if we win that, we break a record, right? I think we would have won every London derby for the first team to ever do that in a Premier League season, I believe. Southampton should be comfortable, right? I think all the home games are wins. Genuinely, I don't see a home game here that I think we'll lose. Obviously, Chelsea at home. If Chelsea turn up, they can beat anyone. Brighton maybe on a good day, but nah, I think we win all our home games. Genuinely, and if I put it, at least as I see it right now, there's 3 games. It's 3 games for me. It's Liverpool at Anfield, it's City at the Etihad, and it's Newcastle at St. James's Park. I think those 3 games are the slip-ups. And I think we'll beat Liverpool at Anfield. I have a good feeling about that one. And can I just say, it's great that we don't have any other games. There's no other competitions right now. We're solely focused on that. But I think we'll lose at the Etihad. I think that's going to be such a big occasion. I think ultimately the title will come down to that game. And I think we'll probably drop points at Newcastle as well. Last season, I don't even want to think about that Newcastle game towards the end. But the rest of the games are winnable. And it is going to come down to the game at the Etihad. I think whilst we might not see the direct impact of that right away, but a win at the Etihad, I think, wins us the title. And a loss there potentially will be a knock-on effect. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. James has said it was a tough first 30 minutes, agreed. But after half-time, we saw Arsenal come out in full force. Jesus is really that player in attack we've been missing. He was my man of the match today. I'd actually give it to Ramsdale personally. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. We say this every time and we will continue to say it. It's these games that win us the league. 9 finals to go. Well said. And then Gunners or Ruben said, oh, how I missed Arsenal. I hate international breaks. I don't mind watching international games. I don't mind watching England play, but it's not Arsenal, is it? Disappointed we couldn't keep a clean sheet, but Jesus is back. Already more goals than Richarlison in one game. Just hilarious to me. And then James says, great, especially after the 40 minutes. I talked about that. We were pretty average and didn't have Saka on the pitch. I mean, honestly, when Saka came on, I didn't think we were that much better. I felt like we did quite well without him. But yeah, you could see we were missing our star boy. That was the first time in 485 days in the Premier League that he didn't start. Do you know how incredible that is? What I love about this team the most is after the City result, they said, okay, we'll match it. In years gone by, we've crumbled under pressure. We are built different now. Hashtag Operation Arsenal. He's not wrong. We are a different side these days, and he's right. You know, in the past, if we were in a situation like this, I remember the time Leicester won the league, and of course, that was pretty close. It feels like we just weren't mentally capable of taking on that pressure of a dogfight. And shout out to Matt Turner. If you know, you know. It's a dogfight out there. Really good result today, guys. And as we've seen people saying, I've said it myself, it is just 9 finals to go. Quite simply, if we win 7 out of those 9 games, we'll be Premier League champions. And we can probably get away with 6, maybe 5, as long as we beat City and they drop some points somewhere, which I think they will. But then again, it wouldn't surprise me if City go on to win every single game left in the Premier League. It could happen. I'm just not going to get ahead of myself and predict an Arsenal title win, because I know the day I accept it is potentially the day it slips away. I'm just going to not tempt fate. But thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed my review, and I'll see you next week for the big one at Anfield.